Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Bobby D back in with their hot, juicy video. And today I have a special guest, David. He's like the hair OG of YouTube. Kind of where I got my inspiration to get my transplant actually was his channel with Steve Cook, and you know, watching him go through his procedure, and it was miraculous. And you know, when I saw his channel, I was like, hey, this guy can do it. We went to McGrath Medical, and that's what I did. And so I kind of want to ask David a few questions about his hair transplant journey, and hope you guys like it. Yeah. So David, what made you want to get a hair transplant? Like, what's your story, man?
Because I always wanted to look like Tom Cruise, and as a bald guy, I didn't, except in the movie Tropic Thunder, baby.
Whoa. What do you need, Peck?
I never really wanted to look like him in that movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, how was your experience with McGrath and Steve Cook and all that?
So Dr. McGrath did my third hair transplant. So I'd already been through a couple hair transplants before. My experience comparatively, which I think is quite important because every new surgeon that you get work done by, you can compare very directly to, you know, another surgeon. And so my experience comparatively was much better, like way better. My, you know, post-operatively the way that I felt was way better. My recovery was easier. This is like one of the least painful processes ever. It just looks painful. There is really absolutely no pain involved if you go to the correct surgeon when getting this done. Everything just seemed more professional. Yeah, it was a really good experience. So it was kind of the experience that made me go, oh, well gosh, I would do that again. That wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah, that's awesome, because like when I was even looking up hair transplants, you know, in the Texas area, that's when I, you know, saw the reviews. I saw your review and I was like, David, and then oh, he looks so familiar. That's when I looked up YouTube. I was like, oh, that's him. It's legit. I gotta go. It worked for him, and
yeah,
the rest is history. And yeah, I was gonna ask you too. So what was you know, you had prior experience with transplants? Kind of what went wrong there? Kind of.
So I'm gonna actually do a video about this soon for my channel. It's gonna be called "The 3 Biggest Mistakes I Made Having, you know, with my hair transplant," or some variation of that. And one of those things that I'm gonna talk about in that video is the mistake on my surgeon. And this is not something that I could have anticipated actually, because my surgeon who did my second surgery, he was committed to a mental institution like a couple months after doing my second surgery, and he was allegedly on a lot of different drugs and medications and all these different things, and his license was actually taken away from him in Tennessee, and it already actually been removed. He lost his license in Ohio even many years before that, so he already lost his license. He lost his license in 2 different states, but actually he's a very well-known hair transplant surgeon. And how could I have known that? How could really anybody have known what he was doing behind the scenes, or, you know, expected that he would start claiming that he was Jesus Christ and punch a guy out of the blue and get committed to a mental institution? How could we know these things? So the thing is that, sorry, we're watching our friend Robbie over here. He's like miming about this. How could we could have known? So that mistake is a mistake that I made going to him, but it was a mistake that I wouldn't have known how to avoid. And so a thing that I try and explain now to patients, which is hard to sort of explain and have people understand, is that doctors are humans. Doctors could be going through a horrible divorce and not getting enough sleep. They could be drinking too much at that time. They could just be having a bad day, or be, going through a breakup. But there's any number of things, you know, that people can be going through. And so finding a doctor that has like a long-standing history, and sort of that you can do your best job to try and like understand their reputation and where kind of who they are as a person, you know, to a certain degree, like as well as you can having like a good feeling about all of that, and feeling like this is somebody who really cares about you and has a great reputation for doing this surgery is really important, because at the end of the day, when you're under the knife with any number of people, you're taking a chance, you know, that they're performing their best. And not everybody performs their best every day. So you want to try and find somebody that is stable and that is like consistently performing their best for many years, you know, and can hopefully do this surgery without any sleep and still be great at it. Yeah. So so that was something that went wrong was that second surgery, and he left me with a large scar from that second surgery. And I think a lot of the hair really didn't end up lasting very long because a lot of it came from down too low below the donor area. So like this area back here, that you shouldn't take donor hair really from this. This, if anything, maybe just to soften a hairline a little bit, but he took this huge chunk from there. So yeah.
Dang.
It's not really straight there.
It looks great now. So.
Thank you.
So
Well, yeah,
just
3 surgeries later.
Yeah, so Dr. McGrath basically fixed that issue.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't fix the scarring issue that doctor left me with, but he did a great job on my hairline, making my hairline look way better than it did from that surgeon. He gave me a lot more hair and just kind of put me in a much better place than I was.
Yeah, because even from my surgery, I was kind of nervous going into it, and then I just put my trust in Dr. McGrath, and I was like,
I mean,
Steve, trust you, and luckily it worked out because you know, I've done a great job on my hair, your hair as well, so very blessed for that. And then I was going to ask you too, the big thing was what kind of like what made you want to share your story? Like the main thing of going to YouTube, and I mean that's kind of scary even for me posting my hair stuff. I was like, you know, what are people gonna think, and what did you just...
So yeah, that's a good question. I think the biggest thing is that I love helping people, like kind of too much probably, like, but it's something where it's one of the biggest things in life that gives me joy is to see somebody else succeed at something that I also, I guess, sort of want to succeed in. So like in music, for instance, a lot of popular artists in the Philippines I started working with way before they were ever popular, because I was just, wow, this person's really talented and I'd love to be able to help them and be able to see them become successful. And so that's the same thing for this, you know, for my hair transplant videos and everything. The idea of somebody seeing my video and it helping them, like it did you know, is way more exciting to me than somebody knowing that I had a hair transplant. So I'm actually going to have some hair work done, a hair transplant done tomorrow here, and we're going to add some more to my hair. And so I'm actually going to shave my head for that, because we're going to do a FUE surgery. So, and I've got some crazy stuff going on with my head. I mean, there's 3 surgeries. I've got crazy scars all back in here and all that. So my hair looks good, you know, here. But like, if you shave my head down, it's not going to look good at all. I'm assuming. So I don't know. Like that doesn't bother me that much. Like the idea that the videos will help other people, and that at the end, I'm gonna look fine anyway. I don't know, I almost see it more of like a challenge, to also be comfortable within myself, sort of, you know? And like, even when I look crazy, and one time, after I got my, I think it was 2nd hair transplant, this guy came up to me on the plane and he gave me like a free meal, you know, the flight attendant, and he's like, thank you for your service. he thought I was like back from the military, and I had like, I was like a military person or something, because my head was shaved and I had this big scar. Thank you for your service. And I was like, oh, thank you for the free meal.
Yeah, thank you. That's how I feel too, because you know, I like helping people as well, because like you said, you helped me. It gave me the confidence, like, hey, you can get a transplant, look great, be confident in yourself. And so that's kind of what I wanted to do too. It's like, hey, I know a lot of friends personally who are going through hair loss and you know, aren't happy with it, and I'm always like, hey, do what makes you happy. Yeah. You know, and so it's kind of like, I was scared of posting it, but I did, and after I posted it, nobody said anything to me. Anybody I know, they're just like, dude, your hair looks so good. Like, what did you do? Like, or people were asking me, like, how much did it cost? Where did you go? And I was like, man, I'm making a difference and getting people, like, you know, used to, like, getting a hair transplant is like a normal thing, you know? Like, and so I'm really glad I did it, and helping people, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, I don't really see the fear of sharing it, as sharing, you know, that you've had a hair transplant if it looks good. I can understand a little bit the fear if it looks really crappy. I don't understand the fear of sharing your hair transplant if it looks good. If it looks bad, then I can understand you not wanting people to know that you had that done. But I've only twice, and I very specifically remember those 2 times, ever had anyone to my face, of course online, tons of stuff, but who cares? Those are like keyboard warriors or whatever. So to my face, I've really only had 2 people ever try to like make fun of the fact that I had a hair transplant work. And it was funny because in both those cases, it was like exactly the same type of thing where a person, it was a guy in both cases, girls don't care at all, but a guy, you know, was like, oh, you had a hair plugs or something like that, or like, oh, he got his hair done or something. I don't remember exactly what he said, but basically I remember like they tried to sort of make fun of that in some kind of way. And it was funny because I didn't even have to say anything back, but it was like as soon as it came out of their mouth, they realized that they were like trying to like make fun of me and put me down by saying I was successful. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it was like it didn't really work. It's like, oh yeah, like you have so much money and girls. Like it's like how do you like?
Just jealous.
Yeah, there's no way to like, if someone is successful at something, there's no real way to make fun of them with it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because I've had a couple buddies, so they would just make jokes about it. Like, oh, the plug or something. But I'm like, y'all are bald. Y'all are hating. I don't care what y'all think.
Like as soon as they say that, like you felt it, that inside they already know that like
they messed up.
You done messed up, Aaron.
They know that like that whatever they're saying is not winning, like, you know, their point basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I had another question for kind of off topic though, because I know everybody knows you're on the hair and stuff, like, but you're also a great musician and stuff.
Thank you.
So what kind of brought you? You've been doing music your whole life, kind of deal.
Since I was 15, I started playing guitar and writing songs since I was about 9, and yeah, that's all I. Yeah, that's all I've really ever done, you know, for a living is make music.
Day and night. One I think.
Perform and all that. I performed in like 97 countries so far, all over the world. Yeah, and I mean, it's funny because you're like, you know, you're like, oh, you're known for the hair stuff. I mean, I'm definitely much more well known for my music than my hair videos. But yeah, within each one of these little niches, people will know you, and whatever they know you for is sort of what they know you for, you know? So I also won the world championships in juggling when I was 16 years old. And so within the juggling community, everybody knows me as a juggler, you know? They don't know him as a hair guy. So yeah, and within the, you know, hair, like within my music career, every now and again I'll post like a little video of me juggling and people are like, oh wow, you juggle? So yeah.
It's like, what does David not do?
Random stuff. Really not do.
That's
cook.
Awesome.
I don't cook.
Don't cook. Same. It's not my thing.
Yeah. I love eating.
Yeah. Well, guys, I really appreciate David, you know, joining me today, and check out his channel, Hair Loss Hope.
Hair Loss Hope,
and you have like a separate channel for the music.
Yeah, it's just David DiMuzio.
David DiMuzio. Check that out, and yeah, thanks again, David.
Yeah, thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. Until next time, guys.